Welcome, folks, to episode 22 of Finding Your Hidden Superpower, Autism, Aspergers, and Neurodiverse People. My name's Dan. Click and subscribe if you like what you hear and see. So, what I need to get back to are strengths that autistic people show. And common strengths are honesty, desire to connect, even though we have problems with connecting, but we desire to connect. We're a lot of us are fair and just. We have very special interests, and when we do have special interests, we're very interested in them, and we dive into it, and we become experts. We learn, and we're ahead of the curve. And that's the key is we get on something, we're ahead of the curve, we learn about it, we can become experts. We have very good memory. We're able to recall minute details about things that other people might think are mundane, but because it's our special interest, we can remember it and recall it very, very quickly. We have the ability to focus. A lot of the times people have ADHD, ADD, all the distractions with phones, and nobody can watch anything for you know hardly 2 hours. People set aside their daily lives; they'll be on their phones within 10 minutes. But we can focus. And so that's a unique strength that's really coming into play right now is focus. We're detail oriented because we're able to dive down, and go down that rabbit hole. We are able to bring up details nobody else can bring up. And also, we have a unique sense of humor. With myself, it's very much a dry sense of humor, and so sometimes people don't understand when I'm being funny, and when I'm being funny, I don't even realize that I'm being funny. But yeah, so once people get to know you, they'll understand your unique sense of humor, and they'll understand you better. So these are some of the strengths that come into play when people are neurodiverse. Now, the key is being able to use your strengths. So, a lot of the times, society is looking at autism being neurodiverse as a handicap. It's not a handicap, it's just that you are different from others. Everybody likes people to be the same. I get it all the time at work. We have to do this the same way. This has to be unified. And then you find a faster, easier way to do it. They don't like that. And even though it'll save time, it'll make them, you know, make the job work a lot better because they want unity. And sometimes when the boss is coming down, they're just coming from top down, and you just got to deal with that. And but when you're on your own, do what works for you. Um, Honesty. Sometimes people don't like people being honest, so be careful about being too honest. It's better to not say something that would hurt somebody, even though you're being honest. Desire to connect. Figure out what people like. Figure out what they want. Figure out their needs, even if their needs are to fulfill their ego, to feel special. If you can figure out what somebody's needs are and you give it to them, they'll like you. And so the desire to connect, you have to have people like you in order to connect with them. Because otherwise, if they don't like you, no matter even if you're telling them the truth and you're honest with them, they're not going to listen to you because they're not going to want to hear it. And fair and just, yes, I believe the people that I've met that are neurodiverse are very much fair and just. And sometimes we're a little bit too fair and we're a little bit too just because we're able to see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture sometimes people are not interested in. They just want, like corporations, they're only interested in quarterly profits. The long-term profit schedule is set out for 5 years. That's as long as they can think. That's an eternity to them. So for us, a year may go by and it may feel like yesterday. 10 years may go by and it feels like last week. Um, so we have intelligence, we have special interests, and we're very highly intelligent in those special interests. So, what you want to do is you want to figure out what your interests are, figure out what you can do with those interests, and figure out if you can make a living from that interest. And then you can become the expert. And as long as you figure out how to be socially intelligent and learn how to ask people what they need in a proper way and then give it to them, they'll like you a lot. So, using your good memory, you can use your memory for your special interests, but also you need to really focus in on the desires of others and that you need to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And you want to make sure you understand their pet peeves. You want to make sure that you understand how to make them feel good. And as long as you can stay away from their pet peeves and you can figure out what makes them feel good and give them that, and use your memory to do that, even though you may not be interested in it, it's not about you, it's about them. In order to move through society, you have to think about others. You can't just think about yourself. You have to think about others and how others react to you or how others like to be around you. So, and they only may be liking to be around you in certain circumstances, and then you got to understand that. And so, use that focus to make sure that you're using your memory and your intelligence and your desire to connect and your ability to be honest to become more socially active. And then if you help others help themselves and help others become successful, they'll always want to rely on you because you can be the person that they rely upon the most. And they might not necessarily want to go out and have a beer with you, but they will definitely want to be around you in certain circumstances. So hopefully this can help, and I hope you have a good day. This is Dan signing out. Please click and like and respond, and hopefully I'll keep on doing this. Have a great day.